would like it.
Y'all sing with me on this now, okay? Well, take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together, we come together, in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love. Well, take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Yeah. So take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Feel the love and the unity.
Feel the love and the unity.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
We come together,
we come together,
we come together,
we come together,
we come together in the name of love.
We come together,
we come together,
we come together,
we come together in the name of love. Had to kind of croak that one out. All right. How are we all doing this morning?
Great.
Nice to have you here on a Memorial Day weekend. Don't want to push the calendar ahead too far. So it's nice to have you all here with us. If you're joining us online, my name is, or if you're joining us here in the room, my name's Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm senior minister here. We're coming to you live from the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. We're located in the North San Fernando Valley. We're a faith community who honors all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. So welcome to you, and if this is your first time, hit the subscribe button, and maybe even hit the notification bell. You can join us every time we are online. So our musical guest this morning, our musical director this morning is the wonderful Teresa James. And if you haven't heard her, you're going to love her today. She's got some great songs for us today. And our presider today is, drum roll please, my old pal Wayne McDonald. Come on, give him some love. There you go. Very nice. Thank you very much. How about that? You even got a yay out of him. All right. So let's take a deep, conscious breath together and release as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Now, fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Wayne lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And the seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Wayne lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
Join me in this opening treatment. I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. And as we go within, I know and recognize that God is that love, light, peace, and joy. And I'm one with that. I'm one with that love, that joy, the light that is always guiding and directing. And I know that this service today unfolds in that right and perfect place. I know the words are from the heart. I know that our understanding of what God is finds that deeper space in our heart. We expand of what we know God is and what God is in our life. And I give thanks for this community. I give thanks for the words spoken. And I give thanks for each and every person online and for those that are here today. Knowing these words are complete and done, I just release to the law, knowing it's already done. And together we say, and so it is. So we have a 3-day weekend, which really leads into today's talk. How do you define living your best life? And that could be having every weekend be a 3-day weekend. Many people, if you ask people about best life, many people will use such terms as abundance and prosperity. For me, I would always start in recognizing that God is that source and substance of my supply. Ernest Holmes says, we see abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on a single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. And I think, if just think about those words, waking up in the morning, start your day and say, today is vibrant with power. How will your day unfold? Just inviting vibrant power into your day. One of the daily practice I do each day is to read and declare spiritual abundance with affirmations. One example I use is, I'm living my best life. I am prosperous and financially abundant. Now, it seems very minor, but when we talk about abundance, you notice I use the word financial, because we don't need to define, but we would like to give some clue of what we want. We want financial, but we also need to recognize that prosperity is also in that place of health, career, and everything that we have in our lives. It is living your best life. To really develop a powerful mind, I would also suggest spending time each week learning the universal laws. Here are a few of them. There's the law of abundance, the law of gratitude, the law of giving and receiving, the law of vibration, the law of inspired action, the law of compensation. Now, it was interesting when I was looking up these laws, because there's a lot of them, I found something else I didn't even know was out there. It's the law of gender, which is the masculine and feminine energy that exists. The masculine energy is the hustle and do mentality. And then feminine energy is just be. The feminine energy of be is trusting the process. Living your best life is freedom. Trusting the process and surrendering to knowing God is that source and substance of supply. Ernest Holmes says, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is a birthright of every living soul. The truth points to freedom under the law. He continues and says, we must know that the truth produces freedom because truth is freedom. Our work will be best done in quiet expectancy, in the calm confidence. The results rest in the eternal law of good. The law of good refers to the idea that goodness and harmony are inherent principles of divine with a higher power. I'll close one more with this abundant affirmation. Divine abundance flows through me now, and I live in an abundant universe that supports me fully. And to you, love, peace, and joy. And so it is.
You say you want to get over. What are you gonna do? Watch the world go by in a corner all alone. And I know it's none of my business, but there's something I need to say. If you could see you the way I see you, you'd start flying on your own. Step aside and let your light shine. Let your love show. It's a short ride down a long road. And when the rains come and the winds blow, let your light shine wherever you go. And this world is ready and waiting for you to come on through. It's time to recognize, realize you're the only one like you. So step on up, step into your greatness. Don't you be afraid, 'cause there's a place that you can rise up to. No one else can do what you do. So get out of the way and let your light shine. Let your love show. It's a short ride down a long road. When the rains come and the winds blow, let your light shine wherever you go. Let your light shine. Let your love flow. It's a short ride down a long road. And when the rains come and the winds blow, let your light shine wherever you go. Let your light shine wherever you go.
Announcements. Practitioners are available today in the treatment room for a 2-minute tune-up. You can also call the center or check online for a licensed practitioner. And you can find us online at cslgh.org. We would like to thank all the folks who came to participate or attend the open mic this past Wednesday. It was a great event. And we look forward to planning another similar event in the near future. This coming Wednesday, May 28th at 7 p.m., please join us for the SOM discussion group. Come ask questions and get answers in an open forum style. And it will be with Dr. Maureen Hoyt and Reverend Nancy. Is she going to be back for that?
Yes.
Okay, good. If not, we'll just have somebody else fill in, right? Recurring on Thursdays at 7 p.m., AA holds an open book study. All are welcome to attend. Please contact Liz C., and you can contact the center for more information. Friendly reminder, there is no Tai Chi class scheduled on Thursday, May 29th. Thank you. And we have a gratitude box. And, okay. Thank you, Barbara. You need a drum roll?
No.
What are we grateful
thank
for
you.
today?
Okay, so today we're grateful for the warm and inviting spiritual center. Woo!
Whoa, good. Thank you. Yes. And please stand for the Declaration of Principles. And you could also join us online and saying these with us and together. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in eternal goodness, eternal loving kindness, and the forgiveness of life to all.
All right, y'all help me sing. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Let's sing it again, you want? I got up this morning singing, God is so good.
I got up this morning singing.
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing. God is so good. My God is so good to me.
Oh, I'm feeling good down in my soul.
God is so good.
I'm
Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me.
My God is so good to me.
I'm ready for Broadway. Not quite. All right. Teresa is for sure. Yeah. That's okay. I can take it. I can take a little truth. So we're finishing up our month of May where we've been speaking to Raise Your Voice. Today's talk title is Overcoming Silence, Individual and Collective Liberation. So I'll sort of speak to that in a little bit. Did I? Yeah, I did, okay. But first, let's start by giving Ginny a big thank you for Wednesday night. Along with Danny. It was a wonderful team effort. It was fun to watch you in action as the stage manager / director / ringmaster. Yeah, so it was really fun. The kids had a fun bit to open up with, and it was really a great evening. We're doing it again. So if you're a poet, and you know it, clap your hands. No. But if you have a poet or you want to be a poet, get busy. You got probably a couple months to work something up. So spit that rough draft out and overwork it for a couple months. All right. That's one writer to another. Yeah. And it's great to be back with you. Of course, it is Memorial Day weekend. And so it's nice to have friends who come all the way from Australia to be here with us today. Just to be at this church service. That's amazing. You must really have high expectations. I am encouraging you to lower them just a little bit. And it is good to be back with you. I had a little break. I actually went on a spiritual retreat, which I've needed for some time. And I knew I needed it, but couldn't quite put my finger as to why. It just had been a while. And so, as it happens, it was a time for connection and reflection and even an insight or two, which I'll share with you in a moment what that was. But first, I want to back us up a couple weeks ago when we were speaking to self-awareness. Self-awareness that had come up as a spiritual principle when we were interviewing, doing ministerial review panels. And so I introduced this chart to you and to me as I found it. So stuff that everybody knows, known to self. Let's see, how do I do this again? Oh, well, doesn't matter. Known to others, known to self, that's open area or arena. Not known to self, known to others, is called a blind spot. And so, and everybody has one, at least one. I only have one that I know of. No, but the fact that we don't know about it is what makes it a blind spot, right? But and of course the frustrating thing is everyone else knows that you have it, but you don't. Yeah. So I'll let you look at that for a few seconds here. So one of the highlights of the weekend was having an opportunity to share time with Dr. Ken and Dr. Deb Gordon, who are out of Kelowna, British Columbia. Dr. Ken has been here before. He came down for our 50th anniversary back in whenever that was. And he's the formal spiritual leader for Centers for Spiritual Living, which is the name of our denomination. And his wife, Dr. Deb Gordon, is now the leadership chair for the Leadership Council for Centers for Spiritual Living. And they were sharing about how they came to religious science. And I always love hearing stories about how people came to find the teaching, but particularly from ministers. Dr. Ken was talking about when he found religious science back in Palm Desert with Dr. Tom Costa. He was talking about how cynical he was back in the days before he found the science of mind teaching. What he was like, the way that he was thinking and acting. And then he described what his life was like as a cynical guy. It was all very interesting. You know what it sounds like, so forth. And halfway through the weekend, I realized, oh my God, I'm a cynic. Oh yeah, you laugh. So remember the chart behind you, the blind spot. If you spot it, you got it. I thought that'd be funnier than it is. Okay. Hit a little too close, I guess. All right. So now I looked up the definition of cynical. It made me curious to know exactly. I had a sense of it, but I didn't know precisely what it was. And so that's to soften you up a little bit. Puppies and children. All right, so cynical. There's nothing cynical about a puppy except cleaning up after him. All right. Cynical, believing that people are motivated purely by self-interest, distrustful of human sincerity or integrity, as in he was brutally cynical and hardened to every sob story under the sun. Well, I hope that is not me, at least not in my entirety. And then there's also this definition for cynical: concerned only with one's own interests, and typically disregarding accepted or appropriate standards in order to achieve them. So a cynical manipulation of public opinion. So, back to the puppy. Here's the thing. Maybe you are identifying with one of these two definitions. And I do want to direct your and my attention to ourselves and to resist the temptation to identify any targets outside of yourself. Now, I think most people do not generally feel cynical about the people in their own circle. Speaking for myself, I want to think that I am not cynical about folks in our center, for sure, or generally in my personal circle of influence. But this is a pretty small circle, right? My life is bigger than this circle. I live in a neighborhood, I live in a city, a state, a country, a planet. And I'd like to think that I participate and support these resonant circles of influence, right? In small ways, yes. By sweeping my own porch, right? By collecting the water from the sink and taking it out to the plants, recycling, volunteering, both inside and outside of the center, and living not just a legal life, but living an ethical life. Now, my ethics are informed, speaking for myself again, my ethics are informed by my Judeo-Christian upbringing, right? That tempered by the ethics where, from the Hebrew Bible, Cain asked the question, am I my brother's keeper? And then the master teacher showed up thousands of years later and said, yes, you are. Not only that, you give him your coat, you feed him, and care for the stranger. So he raised the bar a bit higher. So I'm informed by my Judeo-Christian upbringing, tempered by life experience and careful contemplation. I had heard, probably when I was in college, that the unexamined life is not worth living, Socrates. And so that seed had been planted in me as a young adult. I've taken countless hours to examine, do I follow the teachings of Jesus or the teachings of Paul? Am I even aware that there's a distinction between the two? Am I informed by doctrine or by love? Is compassion the cornerstone of the foundation of my ethics, or is it simply a facade that I show to the outer world, hiding weak thinking or a hardened heart? So I take these things seriously and gently, because I want to uncover and discover rather than discover and punish. This is the foundation of my religious science practice. This is the consciousness I strive to bring to the law of life. It determines the direction of my life, and perhaps more importantly, that of our spiritual community. It's important that we do the work gently, accurately, taking inventory to discover what is truth and what is folly. and to do it gently. Pema Chodron wrote in her book, When Things Fall Apart, that the most fundamental aggression to ourselves, the most fundamental harm we can do to ourselves, is to remain ignorant by not having the courage and the respect to look at ourselves honestly and gently. So, and, you know, it is Memorial Day. A day where we honor those who have died in service to the United States, especially those who have died in wars. I grew up in the military, you should know that. My dad was a chief master sergeant. I'm also in an immigrant family, a legal resident, not a citizen. All of these things inform my worldview. When it comes to Memorial Day, it brings into focus the military experience. You know, I was an altar boy, served at the funeral masses of 3 or 4 test pilots who died testing aircraft out at Edwards. But my cynical side sees how military service has seemingly morphed into a marketing brand for a particular kind of patriotism. That somehow we are now a warrior nation, that people embrace this idea of military service, even though only 6% of our population are veterans, and yet we connect to the warrior mentality. You know, I'm a big fan of the NFL, right? But there's only 55, 60 guys to a team, 32 teams, and yet you often hear people say, "We won." Well, really, we? I don't recall seeing you out there on the field. But this ties into this warrior mentality. To be patriotic means we're ready to kick ass and take names, to win at any cost. And that peace, that's for snowflakes. And yet I would argue that that fellow who stood up against the tank at Tiananmen Square several years ago in a peaceful act took a lot more courage than to sit on Facebook flapping your thumbs. And the American soldier, sailor, they don't teach this stuff, civilians do. Because no one loves peace more than the soldier, sailor. They sacrifice at least years of their lives. Some die, many more are maimed, either physically, mentally, spiritually, and some never recover. And sadly, we see some of them still living on our streets. As a military brat, I got to tell you, it really makes my heart heavy. You know, we now have, this number shocked me, we have 15.8 million veterans in the United States right now. World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, Afghanistan, Iraq, twice. Not to mention the years of the Cold Warriors. So I look at that and I think about our fathers and our grandfathers who fought in World War II in Europe and Asia simultaneously, who went out not for a 10-month hitch or a 1-year hitch, but got out there and were out there for 3 or 4 years until the job was done. And came back and built a liberal democracy. A democracy where liberty is the basic foundation. committed to the idea that everyone gets a shot and the least among us is looked after. Liberal as in liberty, not in owning the libs, but the idea of liberty for all. And that they came home and consciously constructed the system, however imperfectly. And now it appears that we are unconsciously working at dismantling it. For what reason, I do not know. It's very confusing. The only reason I can come up with is because we just don't want to pay for it. So come on, Rev, you're being political. We didn't come here today to listen to your political rantings. But it's not political, it's consciousness. It's consciousness, and I wonder if we are even aware of just how cynical our consciousness has become, how cynicism has infiltrated our consciousness. What we are seeing play out in the collective field is that which is being privately held within the individual in some fashion, by some measure. This isn't me speaking, that's the carpenter said that. The cynic is alive and well and seemingly thriving. But here's the thing, there must be no room for cynicism in the mind of a religious scientist, and I'm calling myself out on this one as well. Now, Ernest Holmes lived through the 29 financial crash of the market, the Great Depression, World War II, and the only 2 atom bombs ever used in wartime, and somehow remained stalwart in his belief that there is a power for good in the universe, available to everyone, and we can use it. So it is our thinking that creates our reality. And as people of faith, we are called to look after those less fortunate than ourselves. You know, if compassion is not at the root of our practice, then it's not much of a practice. As religious scientists, we cannot afford to believe that people are motivated purely by self-interest. We cannot be distrustful of human sincerity or integrity, for we believe that the face of God is the face of the other. That we would have to believe then that God is those things, which it is not. Religious science does not tell us if we're doing well, it's because we have a mighty consciousness. Ultimately, it's the Spirit that doeth the work. We have a part, yes. It's the infinite power, it's the creative impulse of life that's doing the work. That we don't get to smugly hide out in a philosophy that promises much, yes, but it also extols us to know the truth for others by taking action when we are called to do so. We don't get to disregard the plight of others. Now, people may have honest disagreements on how to address the plight of others in this objective world. I get that. But not from a place, not from a consciousness of limitation, but rather abundance. That there's plenty to go around. It is a distribution issue, not an abundance issue. That we don't want to come at this from ignorance, but rather from intelligence. Our task is not to take our objective world, the world of effect, and then cram it into the science of mind teaching, trying to justify our faulty thinking. You know, we're not taking our life and then sticking it through the Play-Doh press, cutting off little stars of consciousness. Look how wonderful I am. We use the teaching to inform our use of the law, knowing that the law is intelligent, it is creative, It is evolutionary. It's transformative. It is love. A love so pure that it rains on the just and unjust alike. And in this way, it appears to be impersonal. It's not every man for himself. It's every man for himself and everyone else too. It's a both and proposition. To see the face of God in everyone. And that means everyone. Particularly the person that we may hold in contempt. That's raising the bar really high. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are. It's your thinking that makes it so. Our armed forces cemeteries, which will be the focus tomorrow in the news, I'm sure, are full of men and now women who paid the ultimate price so that we can peacefully live in the democratic republic, so we can go to the barbecue and have a day off. They paid for it with literal blood, sweat, and tears. Some paid the ultimate price. Some are still paying for it. Almost 16 million veterans, with many, too many, still struggling. And all we are asked as civilians to do, is to pay money. And the last war went for 20 years. And unless you had someone who was in the military, most civilians weren't even aware of it. Because we were distracted by cheap money and low gas prices, frankly. But our grandkids and our kids are going to pay for it, absolutely. So as you can see, my heart is struggling with such things. And I have to admit, I look at the outside world with a cynic's perspective, that sometimes I do succumb to the tsunami of the world of effect. And it may be a small church, but I am a church leader. I am, whether I realize it or not, it always blows my mind when it shows up, but I'm a leader in our denomination now. I also have the privilege in living in a country that I believe is the only place, because of the principles it was founded on, the only place where Emerson and the Transcendentalists could speak their truth. And later, Mary Baker Eddy and Ernest Holmes and others who developed faith systems that stood in the face of common belief and dogma. And that these faith systems, our faith system, is protected. Our heroes died for that too. Now here's the rub, how to know the facts of the objective world, how to be an informed citizen, if you will, and not allow cynicism to embed itself in the heart and in the mind. How to rest in the absolute truth of spirit and not ignore the plight of others. How to deny not the condition, but rather the power the condition has over us. And I got to tell you, I think this is really the crux of the matter. This is the practice of Science of Mind in a nutshell. How to live in the world and not be consumed in it. How to hold the high watch, right? While the rest of the world may be in turmoil, or our life itself may be in turmoil. In health, in wealth, in relationship, in creative expression, we feel stymied in some way. To know the absolute truth of life, to know that the creative impulse of life itself is looking to express itself in some new, creative, evolutionary, transformative way in your life and mine as individuals, and our lives together, collectively. So how to know the truth? Well, Find some time daily to at least sit in silence, maybe even meditate if the mind will still enough, right? And then whatever bubbles up, treat for that. Know the truth around that. Treat your consciousness to rest in the healing power of the Holy Spirit. Know that even now, you are resting in the infinite power and presence that is the healing power of the most Holy Spirit. It's within you, it's around you, it's all around us, if we but turn our attention to it. Know the face of God in every person, including the one who's looking back at you in the mirror. Wayne Dyer once said that you are always a valuable, worthwhile human being, not because anybody says so, not because you're successful, not because you make a lot of money, but because you decide to believe it, and for no other reason. So it's Memorial Day weekend, and I know it will hit some harder than others. I can't, ever since it came out, I've always thought about the movie Saving Private Ryan. Right? I'm one of those kids who grew up watching combat on TV as a kid, and we used to play war. Right? Take our air guns and stick them full of snow and shoot at each other. But Saving Private Ryan really brought the brutality and the savagery of war to film. And it's the story of the last surviving son of a family who this squad gets orders to get him home safely. And at the end of it, the fellow who led this group, Captain Miller, dies. And so I can't help but think that those of us who are civilians could at least commit with Private Ryan to the words of a dying Captain Miller when he said, "Earn this. Earn this." So let's take a breath. So maybe what I've been talking to you, aren't you glad it just pertains to me and it has nothing to do with you? Isn't that a relief? Well, you know, we do have a 3-day weekend. I think why not take it seriously? I know some of you served as veterans and knew friends who died. Some of you are old enough to have friends. Maybe you went to high school and didn't make it out of Vietnam. Whatever the story, perhaps we can take this day to allow ourselves to gently consider with gratitude the many blessings that this life affords us. The fact that we can turn on the tap and know the water is safe to drink. That we can go through a traffic signal and know that person is going to stop at a red light. Unless you're on Lindley at 3 p.m. No. My point is to consider the little blessings that we have because of this collective compact and contract that we have with each other. To know that in some crazy cosmic way, the creative impulse of life itself is behind all of it. And alive and well within our own lives. Let's see if we can cultivate a sense of that today. And a sense of gratitude. take that into tomorrow and the rest of the week, and then come back and check in with each other, see how we did.
I forget all the good there is. And that Spirit flows through me. I forget that God is always in my life. And all the love that's there for me. And I can't remember all the times that love has saved me. And I don't always know what's best for me. Yeah, I forget, but you remind me. When I need affection, you give me love. When I need proof, you give me faith. When I need power, you give me peace. When I need a little comfort, you give me strength. When I need retribution, you give me grace. And when I need something to ease the pain, you heal me. When I need to be reminded, you remind me. When I doubt my direction, yeah, and I'm tempted to stray, and I wonder if all my efforts will ever make any difference anyway. When I'm distracted by confusion all around me, and I can't see the love that lights the way. Yeah, when I forget, you remind me. And when I need affection, you give me love. When I need proof, you give me faith. When I need power, you give me peace. When I need a little comfort, you give me strength. When I need retribution, you give me grace. When I need something to ease my pain, you heal me. And when I need to be reminded, you remind me. You remind me I'm yours. You remind me I'm safe and secure. You remind me what I don't need. You remind me what I need. Oh, you remind me what I need. And when I need affection, you give me love. Ooh, when I need proof, you give me faith. When I need power, you give me peace. And give me strength when I need retribution. You give me grace, and when I need something to ease my pain, you heal me. When I need to be reminded, you remind me. Oh, you remind me.
All right, the perfect song needs the perfect cheer. Let's give her some love.
Thanks, dear.
I guess you guys don't watch Saturday Night Live anymore. All right. That's an old one anyway. Was that 90s? Yeah, all right. I'll try and bring it up into the present time. Chloe, you want to bring up our basket? It is time for our offering. So those of you joining us online as we do our offertory song, perhaps you make your way to our PayPal. For those of you prepared to give a gift in person, just make your way to the basket as you will.
Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Oh, Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So going within for just a moment longer as we recognize this basket represents both the generous heart of the individual, the receptive heart of this spiritual community. The generous heart of the individual who knows and knows that they know that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so by whatever avenue you share your generosity with this center, with the offering here this morning, through the mail, through online giving, we together as spiritual community accept these gifts with deep love and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this center, but anyone connected to it in any way. From this place of gratitude, we extend a blessing on our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them. That we know in some crazy cosmic way that the creative impulse of life itself is making itself known through the planet as well. And to the extent that we are attuned to this truth, we see its demonstration in ways great and small. We feel that sense of grace and power that propel us and pull us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. And that's a good thing. And together we can acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So please help me thank Teresa James one more time. I hope you're giving her some love in the chat if you're online joining us as well. And I want to give one more shout out because we don't get, this isn't to blow in your ear, Jenny, but we don't get a chance to thank you enough for holding together our youth program, but such a nice job on Wednesday night. And Ginny is one of our practitioners, and so if you need a 2-minute tune-up, there she be. All right, so with that, let's welcome our pal Wayne up. We can give Wayne some love too. Why not? Looks so sharp with your stole on today. All right. We'll see you next week, and have a good day tomorrow, huh?
Join me as we close out this service. I invite you to close your eyes one more time if you wish. And as we go within, there is this freedom that we have, and I just know and recognize God is freedom, choice, ease, and love. And I know that the quality of life is what we put in, what we give, what we receive. And I know that all the God qualities of love, peace, joy, freedom, and harmony, I'm one with that. And not only am I one with those qualities, I share that love, I share that freedom. I know and recognize that the words spoken today, that we can go a little bit deeper in what we know, to know what God is. And I am so grateful to be here today to give thanks for this center, give thanks for the online community, give thanks for everybody that supports this center. And I just give thanks to have the freedom where we are today. Knowing this service is all complete and done, I just release it to Allah, knowing it is already so. And together we say, and so it is.
If you want to stand and join in a circle, help me sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. As peace begins with me.